Good morning, this is Kasturi Day. I am going to discuss today the question answer section of matter and its composition, the first chapter, chemistry chapter of class 7 of ICSE syllabus. Okay, so I'm starting first with the choose the correct option. Here the ice melts at 0 degrees centigrade and water freezes at 0 degree 0 degree centigrade, 5 degree centigrade, 50 degree or 100 degree centigrade. The answer is 0 degree centigrade. Next, mercury melts at minus 39 and boils at 357 degrees centigrade. Ordinarily, it will exist in the solid state, liquid state or gaseous state. It will exist in liquid state. Which of the following substances is an element? Water, sand, oxygen or carbon dioxide? The answer is oxygen. Which of the following substances is a compound? Carbon dioxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur. The answer is carbon dioxide because it can be split into two components, two elements. The others are elements because they cannot be split. Okay. Which of the following can be split into simpler substances? Again, here it should be a compound. So, sulfur dioxide is a compound. The other sulfur, nitrogen and carbon, they are elements. So, answer is sulfur dioxide. So, fill in the blanks. The space anything occupies is called its mass or volume. It's its volume. The amount of matter anything contains is called its mass or volume. It's its mass. Then mass exists in the solid in 2 or 3 states. It exists in 3 states. The melting point of a solid is the same as the point of corresponding liquid. It's the freezing point. Okay. Next is A or an is a substance that cannot be broken into simpler substances by chemical means. It's an element or compound. It's an element. An element cannot be broken into simpler substances by chemical means. Then A or an can be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. It's a compound. It can be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. A molecule of an element is made up of atoms of the same kind. Answer will be of the same kind, not of different kind. Okay. Then a molecule of A or an is made up of atoms of 2 or more kinds. That's a compound. Okay. Answer will be a compound. Then write true, T for true and F for false of the following statements. Matter is made up of very small particles called atoms which are held together by intermolecular forces. This statement is false because the intermolecular forces are between molecules and atoms cannot exist freely. So, atom has to combine with another atom, whether it be an element or a molecule or a compound to form a molecule. And intermolecular forces are between molecules, not between atoms. So, the answer will be not atoms. The matter is made up of very small particles called molecules and not atoms, where the intermolecular forces exist. Then the greater the intermolecular space, the greater is the cohesion. This statement is also false because if the intermolecular space increases, the intermolecular force decreases. Okay, so if the intermolecular space is more, the less will be or the smaller will be the cohesion or the intermolecular forces. The melting point of ice is the same as the freezing point of water. That's true. The atoms are held together in a molecule by a force called chemical bond. That's also true. Chemical bonds are stronger than cohesive forces. That's also true. Now we come to some short questions. What is matter? Give any 3 examples of the things made up of matter. Now, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Okay. Now, whatever we see around, like the food, the water, the air, okay, these all are matter. Now, what do we mean by intermolecular force? The molecules are held together by a force of attraction in a matter. So whatever is the matter is, it may be solid, liquid or gas. These molecules, the matter is made up of molecules, and these molecules are held by a force of attraction. This force of attraction is called intermolecular force or cohesion. Now name the three states of matter and give one examples of each. There are three states of matter. We know that solid, liquid and gas. So solid example, whatever it's like a brick, wooden block, whatever it is. Then liquid, any liquid, water, oil, milk, gas, then oxygen, air, nitrogen. Okay. Do gases have a fixed volume as liquids do? Give reasons. No, they do not have a fixed volume as liquids because they assume the volume of the container. We know that gases are more labile. They can flow more. So not labile. They can flow more easily because the intermolecular forces is so weak. Their intermolecular forces is so weak that the molecules are free to move in every part of the container. Okay, and so they occupy the entire volume of the container, and they do not have a fixed volume like the liquids. Then what is the interconversion of state? The change in state of matter from one to another, like from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So one state to another changing is known as interconversion. Okay. Then what is sublimation? Name two substances that can sublime. Now what is sublimation? Sublimation is a change of state from solid directly to gas, to vapor. Okay. Without becoming liquid, without melting. That is called sublimation. Now example is camphor, they sublime at room temperature. Iodine, they sublime when heated. Okay. Now what is an element? An element, give three examples. An element is that substance which cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means. For example, hydrogen, copper, sulfur. Now what is a compound? A compound is a substance that can be split into simpler substance by chemical means. That's the difference. But in element, you can get all the characteristics of that element, matter. Okay. Sorry, I'm confused with that atoms. Okay, element cannot be. It's the only difference that element cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means, but in compound they can be split into simpler substances by chemical means. For example, water can be split into its two components, that is hydrogen and oxygen, two elements. Then carbon dioxide can also be split into carbon and oxygen by chemical means only. This carbon and oxygen are elements, carbon and oxygen. Then what are atoms and molecules? The atom is the smallest part of an element that can take part in the chemical reaction. Okay. And also they have all the characteristics of the element. Okay. Now a molecule is the smallest part of an element or a compound that is capable of independent existence. Atom may or may not exist independently, but molecule can exist independently. In case of molecules, this is also the smallest part of an element or a compound, but atom, it's either an element, it's the smallest part of an element only. Okay. Okay, and it takes part in the chemical reaction, but molecule, it can exist independently. What forces hold atoms in a molecule and molecules in a matter? Okay, that is, what forces hold atoms in a molecule and what forces hold molecules in matter? The question is like that. Which of these forces is stronger? Now, chemical bond holds atoms in a molecule, right? Whereas intermolecular forces of attraction or cohesion hold molecules in matter. Then chemical bond is more stronger than cohesive forces. Okay. Now, what is the difference between mass and weight? Mass is the quantity of matter in a body, whereas weight is the force with which the earth pulls the body towards itself. Okay. Now, mass is the body of a body does not change, but weight changes from place to place, because weight depends on the force of attraction of the earth, that is gravitational pull. Gravitational pull. So, as gravity changes from one place to another, so weight also changes. Mass can never be zero, but weight can be zero, because where there is no gravitational force, the force will be zero. Therefore, weight becomes zero. So, mass is weighed in kilograms, measured in kilograms, whereas weight is measured in newtons, is the unit of the mass and weight. Then mass is measured with ordinary balance, whereas weight is measured by spring balance. Okay. So I'll continue with the next some other questions on this chapter in my next video. Please go through them. If you have any doubts, please do write in the comment box, and please go through the text videos also, so that you can have a better understanding. Okay. And please, if you like the video, please do press the like button, and please do subscribe, so that you can get the notification of my next video. Thank you.